Dear friends, welcome to our new video. If you are not subscribed the channel, please hit subscribe button and activate the bell button. In this video, we will discuss how to become more creative and how to increase your creative abilities. Gain insight into how to overcome the roadblocks that stand in the way of your creativity. And then learn about the incredible Disney creativity strategy, which is based on the imagination of Walt Disney. Before we get into the specifics of how to be more creative, allow us to point out some genuine obstacles that individuals appear to encounter while attempting to develop their creativity. Take a moment to consider whether any of these ideas apply to you and your situation. There isn't enough time in the day to get everything done. Even while it appears to be a significant issue, it is not so. The process of making connections between thoughts and ideas is quick and takes only a couple of seconds. It can occur at any moment and in any area. It is unpredictable. If you're in the correct frame of mind and pay attention to what your body is telling you, it's possible to lose weight. When it comes to being creative, the quality of your time and your willingness to be open to yourself are more essential than anything else. This, however, is a time-consuming procedure. Anxiety over the evaluation process. It was common for people to be hesitant to express their opinions during brainstorming sessions when I was a reporter for a large newspaper when I was younger. The term creative refers to someone who comes up with innovative ideas that are sometimes thought to be unique. Strange, odd, and tough are all terms that might be used to describe what they are like. In many cases, the fear of being labeled as unusual, foolish, or merely different stifles one's ability to be creative. To be completely honest, if I didn't want people to have those kinds of impressions of me, I wouldn't bother getting out of bed in the mornings. But when they do, it makes me happy. Having a negative self-perception. You will push yourself out of your comfort zone and into area you have never explored before, both for yourself and for others, when you start something new. If you are insecure about your own abilities, being different in any way can feel hazardous or vulnerable. You run the risk of losing your newfound understanding in favor of trying to blend in with the rest of society. Break free from the shackles that have been placed around your neck. Having apprehension about failing in one's undertakings? This is a stumbling block for us. When it comes to forming new neural connections in your brain, there is no inherent right or wrong way to go about it. If something fails, it can only signify one of two things: either it did not work or it did not function as planned. As for the second point, it was determined to be undesirable by a separate individual. What is the point of caring? As a matter of fact, I receive a lot of queries about how I come up with so many successful initiatives, which I must confess. As I usually say, the projects are only around 10% of what I had envisioned when I started them. More than 90% of the ideas I had either didn't work or didn't even make it out of my head, which was frustrating. Not just geniuses, but also ordinary people are endowed with the ability to be creative. Although the great Albert Einstein was a brilliant scientist, that does not imply that he is the finest role model for our own creative abilities. It is not necessary to have specialist expertise in order to be creative. I completely anticipate that the fruits of your imagination will reveal themselves in a number of ways. Never again will you doubt your ability to be imaginative. Every night, you dream up a completely new dream in which you act, write, and watch the scenes unfold. Because it engages all of your senses, the effects may linger for several hours or even days following the event. This is something you should keep in mind at all times. Because it is so simple to construct, the majority of people aren't even aware that they are looking at a work of art. How to boost your ability to be imaginative? In order to become more inventive, one must first understand what that means. Here are a few ideas to get you started. Put yourself in the correct frame of mind. When you're creating, pay attention to the emotions and experiences that you experience. Try to figure out exactly what it is that gets your creative juices flowing and keeps you on track. What time of day is most convenient for you? Is this the best possible setting? Is it preferable for you to be alone with others, or alone with others while you're with others? What about you? Are you looking for sounds, silence, or a background noise to assist you in focusing your thoughts? Prepare yourself for your creative mood by creating a profile of it, and then scheduling time and space for it on a regular basis rather than waiting for a miracle to happen. Make it a habit to daydream on a regular basis. Pay attention to what you're experiencing in reality and what you're already creative at rather than rejecting fancies and daydreams. Continuing to overlook what you've already learned increases the likelihood of missing out on crucial knowledge. Make a list of all you could accomplish if you had the necessary time and resources. Even when you've exhausted your initial possibilities, you should never stop looking for new ones. Assume that there is no answer to a problem you are confronted with in your place of employment. There are several applications for this information. What are you going to do if your computer fails right now? Think about what would happen if, instead of fighting it out verbally, you put down your opinions. Some solutions may not improve on your current options, while others may open up a world of possibilities to you that you had never considered before. Consider using a new strategy. Experiment with different combinations of ingredients to see how many distinct outcomes you can achieve from the same set of ingredients. Roseanne Gold's guidebook Recipes 1-2-3 is probably well known to many of you, as each dish calls for only 3 ingredients and is written in a straightforward style. Although the same 3 ingredients can be used in multiple recipes, the results will vary based on the preparation method and the amount of each ingredient utilized. It is possible to have a great time with an everyday thing if you envision or contemplate all of the various conceivable applications for it. You can even think of how you might use it in conjunction with other items. Look for fresh and innovative ways to do the same old task. You should experiment with new approaches to tasks, such as utilizing a different tool or your less favored hand, to prevent becoming locked in a cycle of repetition. When we break away from our habits, we become more alive and conscious. By focusing on new and different portions of your brain, you're actually improving the parts of your brain that are currently functioning. It's a lovely sensation to experience. 7th, keep an eye out for the minor things that build up to significant effects. Ask yourself, what is it about this that is different? Whenever you come across something unexpected, what is the deciding element in this particular case? Over a number of years, I have used the Disney creativity strategy, which is well known in the NLP world, to great effect. The Disney creativity approach is designed to assist you in developing your aspirations and ensuring that they have the best possible possibility of becoming reality. In celebration of Walt Disney, who was well known for taking on a variety of roles. While working on a new project with his team, including the idealist, the realist, and the critic, this shirt was created. Greater clarity and impact are achieved by the separation of these 3 important roles in the creative idea to realization process, as outlined in the strategy. Every organization has a specialist, and I've done consulting work with companies in which different members of my team have taken on one of the 3 responsibilities I've listed above. All you have to do to be effective in all 3 positions is think about what you want, need, and want to achieve in your life. However, when evaluating projects or tasks, the most usual application is to give 3 persons, a realist, a dreamer, and a critic, 3 separate roles. Make use of a dreamer, and ask them to tell you everything there is to know about your notion and its implementation. Recruit the assistance of someone who can look into the practical aspects of putting it into action, a realist, and someone who can take a detailed look at it to analyze the overall strengths and weaknesses of the plan, critic. It's possible that you'll want to mix up the roles a little bit later. If you're working on your own, make sure the duties are well defined and documented. A lot of my own ideas, as well as the improvements I want to make in my life, are what push me to take on this challenge. An example of this would be in a 3-stage meeting, with each function serving as a stage in and of itself. Before you do anything else, encourage everyone to think outside the box and be innovative. After that, ask them to consider what needs to happen in practice and critically examine the various options available to them. I recommend that you have a good time being innovative and trying new things in order to develop your creativity. The sensation is wonderful, and if you've observed that your progress towards success or the results you want has slowed or stopped, consider becoming more imaginative in your approach. What should you do after a presentation? The act of merely calling on someone and giving a presentation is no longer sufficient today. Unless you follow up with the other party at least 7 times, it's a waste of time for both of you. The greater your relationship with your potential consumers is, the more time you will have to spend getting to know them and their needs. Bringing someone in and providing a presentation isn't enough anymore. Unless you follow up with the other party at least 7 times, it's a waste of time for both of you. The greater your relationship with your potential consumers is, the more time you will have to spend getting to know them and their needs. It is necessary to call at least 7 times after a presentation as a result of this, if not more times, to follow up after the presentation. Putting these unique ideas into action will leave a lasting impression on everybody who comes into contact with them. Sending a handwritten note to express your appreciation for their time is a nice touch when following up. Please consider sending out a thank you note on a quality card with your company's name stamped on it, rather than a generic thank you card from the shop. Secondly, purchase some cheese straws from a specialist store and send a note saying, grasping at straws in hopes of finding the ideal cure too. They will remember you for it, not just for the brilliant way you framed it. They will taste it and remember you for it. When it comes to keeping track of critical information, Rolodex cards are a useful tool. Please keep us in mind if you require our support at any time. If you have a small tab on the top of your Rolodex card with either your name or the most significant benefit of using your services, it will stand out more. Afterwards, send a bag of popcorn along with a message that says something like, "Just popping in to remind you that we can." Explain one of the advantages of utilizing your services or purchasing your products. After that, give them a coffee mug with your brand printed on it, as well as some coffee packets and perhaps even a cookie to take home with them. This will serve as a constant reminder of your visit to them every time they take a drink of coffee. We would love to assist you in expanding your business by providing you with a seed packet that states, "We would love to assist you in expanding your business." Chocolate-coated business cards are a delicious way to remind customers about your company's services and products. However, while the price of this one may be a little greater, the end result is well worth the investment. Purchasing a plate with your company's emblem on it will need an initial investment, but it will pay for itself in the long term. The chocolate business cards will help you stand out from the crowd because they are a terrific conversation starter. Obviously, these are just a few ideas. There are several other ways to keep your company's brand in front of prospective clients. Organize each presentation you deliver into a folder and schedule your follow-ups before you arrive at the presentation to ensure that you don't overlook anything important. From this point forward, there will be no turning back. Wishing you the best of success with your next presentation. If you liked the video, press like and have a look on the references in the description box.